tonight.
You're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
I had a nickname for you yesterday, and it was terrible. What was it? You don't need a nickname. You're Olivia Grace. You're talent. What's
Olivia Does Bits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was the nickname?
I don't remember.
We were thrift store shopping.
Find any gems?
Hang on, we're here with Charles in Charge.
Hello,
it
friend.
Doesn't it's hard to say Charles in Charge. Charles in Charge.
I think I was doing that just to piss off Gump. Like this new guy just shows up, and I'm going, yeah, that's Charles in Charge. He's in charge of everything. Gump just smokes a cigarette.
Gump didn't care.
Well, the week that I was there, you guys alienated all my people that would teach me anything. Derek, Kenny. All of them, they fucking all were completely threatened right away.
We didn't talk
They
about
weren't
that.
threatened. They say they're threatened, but it's not like they do anything anyway.
What happened was Tom Canapa is coming over, and he's working in the yard, and we talk about it, and it's like, yeah, Charles is here, and I hadn't really even talked to Charles yet, and they said,
Chuck. Let's go with Chuck, because that's what
Charles
Tracy.
is a finance name. It's an awful name.
So I go, I don't really know what he's supposed to be doing here, but he's supposed to be doing something, and then he's sitting out smoking cigarettes, talking comedy to Kenny and Gump for like 2 days, and then after 2 days, I go, hey, Chuck, what are you doing here? He goes, we got 20 minutes. He goes, I don't know. Those guys are supposed to tell me what to do, but they just smoke cigarettes and we talk comedy.
Well,
and I go, but hold on, they're not telling you anything? He goes, no, not really.
Well, they don't know what to do.
Exactly.
They do what you tell them while you're in the room. Hey, Gump, take the trash out. Okay.
Gump would be
sounds like a plan.
This is what happens. You've got one end of a couch, you're straining, and there's another end of that couch, and you'd have to go, hey, can you give me a hand with this?
Yeah, and he would.
Which end?
And he would say, happily do that.
Yes.
But he would watch you strain, or in his periphery, see you strain while he smoked cigarettes and watched Stripes on TNT for the 55th time.
So after 3 days, that's when I pulled young Chuck here aside and I said, hey, this is what we're going to do. And he's been gung-ho ever since.
Well,
so
to be fair, Doug invites me to the house, and then he just leaves.
Oh, wait, hang on. Invites is a very strong word.
My bad.
This is Chuck's first time. I think we've talked about him a little bit on a podcast, but this is the intern. You know what? When we go to break, I'm going to pull up the emails from Chuck.
Yeah.
Over a course of months, like Fight Club, where we made him wait on the veritable porch for days to make sure he was going to be a member of Fight Club. And when he was still standing, I then invited him.
I'm wrong with the invite, but I got there. I was there for 4 hours, and then you just left town. I'm in your guest house. There's no one in. All I know that I've been tasked with, without overstepping my boundaries, is walking the dog. No one's told me how to do anything else. I was not going to walk in your house until I talked to Ggreg.
All right. Well, that pans out. You
and then I snubbed him for 48 hours.
Yeah. Well, no,
you said see what he would do.
That was Gump said he wouldn't go into the main house because he thought that was sacrosanct, and you said Gump's lying about that, or someone did.
No, Gump said you can do the dishes, but don't put them away. He's particular the way they go back up, and it's like, wait, but then no one would ever have anything to drink out of in the fucking fun house because we do dishes every day and they get put back. Yeah, another bullshit fucking thing.
Yeah, he told me that Doug had a very particular way of where each dish went, and don't put them away.
Don't shit on Gump right now, because that's somewhat true. Where when I come home and I fucking rage, Olivia Grace is on the Chad Shank mic. Chad is very angry. We didn't invite him up, but we didn't know we were going to do these podcasts. Sorry, Chad. Olivia Grace is in the. And she's noticed that my morning tantrums, but I always smile at her afterwards to let her know this is just what I do. Yeah. But I do. I'll come back from the road and go, where's the fucking, who's putting the fucking corn on the cob dishes up in the top shelf. They go down here. How would anyone know where corn on the cob dishes go? You barely use them.
Unless they used all 4. There's probably just
Point
one.
being, yes, I would have thrown a fucking
it would take
tantrum.
3 seconds for a monkey to figure out where a fucking dish went in the 2 cupboards you use. Okay? This is not high-level fucking thinking.
Yeah, but he's not a high-level thinker.
Remember that.
Listen, we're not putting fucking Charles in charge of fucking putting dishes in the right place. He's got more skills, bigger ideas.
Did you have an issue when you came home where I put the dishes?
No, I don't remember where I put the dishes.
A monkey could figure it out. You're right, Greg.
We got 16 minutes left.
We're watching the countdown of the recumbent bike for HomeStretch, and we are here at the HomeStretch Foundation. They shut down for the summer. We took over. We're trying to be polite. Don't gump it up. Don't gump up the HomeStretch. That's your first job going back to Bisbee. We're in Tucson. Charles is going down to Bisbee to take over what Gump could have done. And the first thing he's going to have to do is clean up Gump's mess. You're moving into where Gump was staying. Mm-hmm. And, he left like a motorcycle on the porch. Broken down dirt bike.
And a weed eater, a gas-powered weed eater that I'm pretty sure doesn't work.
I did see him use a weed eater once last monsoons. After the monsoon. I saw him weed eating.
That belongs to someone?
I don't know.
Well,
I talked to... Did I say this? I think I said this last night on the podcast. My conversation with Gump that ended with... He's back in Mississippi. He says, I gotta go wash my feet before my sister gets here.
One job, Gump.
And he wasn't kidding.
So whose idea was it that you become the intern?
Doug wants to review the emails, but it was mine. Drunken day in March. I sent him an email, and he goes, "What are you gonna carry the mic for me?" And I said, "No."
Please, you know what? Let's just go to break right now. I want to pull this up.
The emails, yeah, we'll do that. Cocktails.
I got it on.
Oh, what's that word?
It's not a thing anymore, I guess. Hi, I'm Doug Stanhope. Because of our podcast, the Doug Stanhope Podcast, every year hundreds of stray people show up at my house. And then it's up to me to provide them with food, vodka, and sometimes love so we can get them out of my house. Conversely, every week, tens of thousands of you download the Doug Stanhope Podcast and don't kick in a nickel, leaving me alone to foot the bill for all these strays that you've helped me create. So why don't you follow the link to our Patreon page and help share the burden, and we'll keep putting out quality content every week as well as bonus content for you. Anything you can contribute would be great. Go to patreon.com/Stanhope Podcast.
Patreon is the useless merch of the future.
Cheap pricks. All right, we're back. We both pulled up the feed. So Chuck will
This was the email interaction between you two that was the start of this.
So Chuck will be reading the role of Chuck, and I will be reading my responses. Because I was like, we get a lot of these, and we've talked about them on the podcast, but this was one where I was really intrigued with fucking with him.
Well, it started a while ago, and then all of a sudden another email came in. That
we're going to go
to it, but you were held.
Then when I look through,
make it happen.
Yeah, I scroll through our previous conversations, and I go, oh, all right. Yeah, I still want to fuck with you because you're relentless. All right. Chuck, read your first email.
Monday, March 4th, 7:56 a.m. Hello, Stanhope team.
Still awake. Not early riser.
That's correct. That is correct.
Oh, by the way, Olivia, have you've talked to Chuck close up? Did I tell you exactly what he's going to do with his mouth?
The teeth grinding and
Just go for 10 hours.
I know.
Yeah.
On Adderall, your fucking tongue is chalk white, and you did this to me. I go, so I'm guessing you took some Adderall for this trip.
Every time I drive, sir.
Yeah, and you can't control your jaw.
That's a 7-hour drive.
It was 8.
8, 7.
And I was going fast.
Yeah. Overnight.
Just saying. I told her he's going to be on Adderall, so he's going to do this weird mouth thing. If it creeps you out,
It's
like
only
it
the
creeps
first
me
day.
out. Yeah,
Fine after that.
you're fine
Right.
after that. Okay,
Yeah.
here's the first email, March 4th.
Hello, Stanhope team. I saw the recent news of the tour, and I must say I'm stoked for you guys, and will certainly see your show in SoCal. As of this moment, I find myself in a unique position of being unemployed and not giving a shit about it. The past 3 months of interviewing with many different sized companies has made me realize until we have another epic recession, I don't want to work for any of them. I would like to apply for an internship role for this upcoming tour. I've got a brand new SUV that needs some miles, and all I seek for compensation is a new experience. I'm 37, single, and have no commitments. I dabble in comedy here and there, and below you'll find a link to my set last night. I have no aspirations to become a comedian. I just like talking shit. If something like this would be of interest, please give me a shout.
I have a question really quick. My set last night, so did you wait until you taped a set that you liked to send it the next day to Doug?
No, I had a really good abortion joke that I liked that I thought you might like.
Yeah, it was. That's and because we're trying to keep you vaguely anonymous. Otherwise, I would have Chaille put that set on this podcast. It's fucking terrible, Charlie.
Oh,
Come
no,
on.
it is awful. There's no doubt about it, but I did like that joke. The joke was fun.
So I respond, I'm wrapped with curiosity to exactly what you imagine you would be doing with this internship. That's almost akin to saying you want to be an assistant to a karaoke singer. What would your job be? Carry the mic? Turn my notebook pages while I eat, or feed me while I turn my notebook pages? Seriously, I'm curious.
In my 8 years in financial services, one of my favorite times of year was intern season. I believe I was witness to many of these young lads' first disappointment in life when expectations didn't meet reality. After weeks and multiple interviews for a highly coveted, unpaid internship, only to find out, due to financial regulations, licensing, etc., they'd be filing documents for 3 months and picking up lunch for the team. The only exception would be the Chinese. They're fucking robots. I'm 37 and well aware an internship is just corporate speak for free labor. That's why I lobbed the word. I presume I would be a monkey, get you cigarettes, move the car, go get the mail, etc. And when it comes to flipping merch, my friend, that's where I'd add the most value. I'm from the burbs of Chicago, and I've never met a stranger. I never graduated college, despite it being paid for by Uncle Sam. I still got my college money for my time served, as I found a flaw in the system, which still exists to this day. They say you can only receive comp for one class, i.e., I found that if you receive comp for one class you've completed, just drop it 2 to 3 weeks prior, no repercussions. How did I figure this out? By taking a chance and just doing it. To get back to your question, I presume I'd be like a pop star roadie, following orders just like 20 years ago, minimal interaction with the talent, but still part of the experience. I'm available anytime for a chat, and hell would be more than inclined to drive out to Arizona. I'm bored, man.
All right. So before we go to my response to that, I have a question about this the grift in the system. Can you explain that?
So with the GI Bill, if you go to take...
What's the GI Bill?
If you're a veteran, so you get college funding.
Okay.
So all these teachers at the community college level in California are lazy as fuck. So they all have the same lesson plan throughout all of the colleges. So I took Speech 101 at LA Valley College, Santa Monica College, East Los Angeles Valley College, all of them. And I would just drop 2 weeks prior to get the W, but I'd get my money while I was still doing it throughout. So I actually almost exhausted 80% of it, and I think I have 40 credits. It's all the same fucking class. But college is a fucking...
Because if you take the class and then drop it, you get the withdrawal, the W.
Yeah.
Then you can take it again, and
Yep.
they can't get... You already took this class.
Yep. So they wouldn't
nice.
catch on as long as you got a W. So
You
if I
probably
completed
crushed
the class,
in that class, too.
Oh, yeah. No, dude.
Is this illegal?
I'm sure
It's
there's a
not
statute of
illegal.
limitations. Fuck them, dude. I did I made 12 cents an hour for 4 years. They can pay me.
We are down to 6 minutes, Doug.
It hasn't moved. But if they're smart bidders, they wait till the very end.
I'm giving you because if you get back
All
into
right.
the reading.
So it closes with minimal interaction with the talent, which you've already exceeded. I'm available anytime for a chat. And hell, I'd even be inclined to drive out to AZ. And here you are. I wrote back, I still can't imagine you imagine... that's my typo. I still can't imagine what you imagine the road is like. I fly into a town, I go to a hotel in which I sit until the show. I talk for an hour and then go back to the hotel. I repeat this until I fly home. Presuming you're paying your own travel, I guess you could stay at the same hotel to get me cigarettes once a day, but otherwise I don't see how that could be worth your while. Charles responds,
Boy, I'm a little wordy. Sorry, man. You write 3 sentences, I write back a fucking novel. I used your Asian tour, March Madness, as an excuse for a solo vacation in Thailand or Vietnam. I was in a 6-year relationship. And I also stayed at the Caravel.
Okay, let's just cut there to explain to people. You, when I was in 2018, I did that Southeast Asia. So you came to not one but 2 gigs, both in Bangkok and Vietnam.
Yeah, so I was in Bangkok for a week, and I was just like fucking bored out of my mind. So I just flew to Vietnam, didn't know I needed a visa. I was just going to stay there for one day, see your show. I had fucking 8 hours at the airport, but I ended up getting to see the Vietnam show as well.
All right, so continue, because you also ended up seeing Olivia and I in L.A. right after that ended.
I did. I think I bought that ticket, like, those went on sale in, like, January. I had that before the Asian thing came up, but I was like, I needed a vacation. Stanhope's and I'm like, sorry, honey, can you get 3 weeks off? No. Oh, better be.
Too bad.
All right, let's get back to this.
All right, sorry.
You were at the Caravel, was the hotel in Vietnam, or?
In Caravel was Vietnam.
All right.
So I wrote, just like the interns that used to parade through my old office, was filled with high hopes of getting hammered with Doug, but learned through the Magner's Irish kid that exact routine you're explaining below, of staying in the room, not going out.
Magner's was the sponsor.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a producer.
And it was the opening act.
Yeah. I saw you in Vietnam, Bangkok, and L.A. I know it was a similar set, but I was able to bring a new friend each time. Either way, I'm a fan, not a fanatic, and this is the first time I really got to say hi. I completely agree that going on the road to get you cigarettes is not quite what I envision. In fact, I don't envision interacting with you much. This is about the collective and the team. I think it would be amazing to be a part of it. Either way, I'll be at your LA show whenever you announce the dates. I've got enough dough to carry me through September, but I've got 4 days in Vegas for the opening weekend of the NCAA. I'm not sure what city will be or when, but I feel I could help Ggreg with the merch. Let me know and I'll be there. Idle time breeds crime is my 100-year-old grandma who's still kicking, which she always used to tell me that, just looking for something new to do.
And I'll just cut in before I get to my response. That you, when you did finally come out, you did go to her 100th birthday when you had to leave immediately. After I left you immediately, you also had to leave. We'll get to that. All right. So this is all in the same day. I go, there won't be any merch. I'm just doing some dates to relearn the stuff from last year to film it at the end of May. So it'll be a rusty version of the same shit. Save your ticket money for when I come back with new stuff later in the year. You respond?
Totally understand. It's a bit of a light-duty tour. However, through this correspondence, you strike me as the dude that helps everyone move and never asks for help in return. I'll be around should your needs change. I've got an 18 Ford Escape with no miles on it that's due for a road trip. Take care, dude.
Yeah, and you put 18 Ford Escape, meaning 2018, but you put the apostrophe after it, so it just reads 18-foot Ford Escape.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know. Well, I had been up for probably 36 hours at that point as we did carry on into the morning.
Yeah, this is all in one morning. Now it's 11:53 on that same morning. I said, never put your... I went and I looked at your set.
He sent you a link.
Yeah.
Is it just audio or is it video?
It's a video too.
Oh, wow.
Because I said, never put your hand in your pocket on stage. Nothing telegraphs lack of confidence more. And for God's sakes, you're a 37-year-old man wearing a baseball hat sideways? Not anymore, you won't. Thanks for participating in my unsolicited comedy class, Stanhope.
I have yet to wear a hat on stage ever since, even though now it's already...
Yeah, you've been doing it since we've been...
It's a nervous tick.
All right, is that... Oh, wait, no, there's...
That's the end of the correspondence.
No, you have one more.
I do?
Yeah, it says... That's more advice than I've gotten in my 8 months of open mics. Thank you, Doug. And since I don't know how to use eBay and got fucked at the last minute. Oh, at the last minute.
30 seconds
32
left.
seconds.
No,
huh?
wow.
Fucking serendipity.
Synchronicity.
Synchronicity. Yeah.
So you want to say the price that it's at right now?
It's at 3,200.
And we've got 22 seconds to go. The winner, actually, that offer still stands. The winner, if they ride the bike to Bisbee, they get to stay at the funhouse.
Come to the funhouse, be a podcast guest, stay the night in the guest house, get the fuck out. There will be no breakfast. I think it looks
5
like,
seconds.
yeah, it's going to fucking end at 32.
Nope.
Come on.
Yep. Ended 3,200.
All right.
It's about what we spent on it. All right. Well, thank you, winner. We'll get back to that on another podcast. But all right, this is Chuck responding back to this that same at 1:41 p.m. that same day. And since I don't know how to use eBay and got fucked at the last minute on the several items I did bid on in that last yard sale, this email is getting framed. I wanted that Packer Popov jersey so bad. Have an awesome tour, and despite your recommendation, I'll be buying tickets to LA or Vegas show when the dates are announced. Thanks again, man. And that ended it until
Fast forward
2 months later.
2 months.
May
Pulling
1st.
Another all-nighter. This is 9:39 a.m. Mr. Stanhope and team, it's been a few months since our last correspondence, and I'm fairly certain you could have used a guy like me in Cincinnati. I could have called the Uber, gotten the cigarettes, ensured the cell phones were properly charged, making copies of keys, etc., all while ensuring the drunks and fans, sometimes both, were at a distance. I would like to reapply for the unpaid internship that we spoke of in March. I'm available now for immediate assignment and could officially report as soon as this evening. Chad, Chaille, or another member of your team can order me around, and like I've stated before, I've got an SUV that we could fill up with whatever you want for this upcoming SoCal leg. I'm aware that at any time my unpaid internship can be terminated, as it really doesn't exist, and I not only have to prove myself or prove my keep, I have to make it. I'm financially secure now and will not now nor ever require reimbursement for anything. My compensation is experience and escape from boredom.
Chuck. Well, you know what the selling point in that was, Olivia?
Huh.
I am financially sound. Yeah. I don't need anything. I can pay my own fucking way. And he emailed this during a moment in the funhouse where there's a million people asking me a million fucking different questions. And can you look at this? And can you do that? And when can we talk about this? And I fucking can't do all this shit. And I read this email. You know what? Fuck it. Chaille would say no. But I think I'm just going to fucking call this guy. What's the worst that can happen?
I was sitting in the funhouse with
Yeah.
you. I did not say no. I said, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Which was uncharacteristic for me. But you were in a weird mood. You were like...
I was overburdened.
But still you were up and you're like, I'm doing this. And I'm like, yeah, what could go wrong? That's what I said.
Well, he put it in that... listen... This is not going to work twice, listener. But yeah, he said, I get it. If you tell me to beat feet, I'm fucking gone.
Yeah.
Don't need a fucking penny. Got it. And he's got a background. And so I called him with a blocked number.
I have the message.
Oh, you have the message? Okay, go.
Even if it ended here, it was awesome. But I still listen to this all the time because I find it hilarious.
Hey, Charlie. Sometimes when opportunity knocks, it blocks its phone number. Stanhope.
I get that. I'm jumping up and down. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my, are you fucking kidding me?
And then, hang on, let me go up, because then I sat, after I left that message, I go, oh, now I'm just waiting for the email. And he writes back, I don't know how many O's that is, Olivia, but I don't need your reading glasses for that. He goes, no. Please, Mr. Stanhope, one more call. I thought it was a bill collector. So when I talk to him, the first thing I go is, if you're financially secure, why are you worried about bill collectors?
Well, I explained that California's a debtor state, and I know my rights. And and
he had his answer. He was ready. So I said, all right, be here tomorrow. And I said, yeah, if you leave L.A. at 4 a.m., you'll beat the traffic. I don't know if you... I asked you if you drink.
Yes, yeah, what I drink.
Well, I asked because I go, well, I'm not telling you to leave at 4 a.m. That's what I'd do, because you don't want to leave tonight if you drink, because you're going to be drunk at night, because I'm drunk every night. So I assume anyone who would want to hang out with me is probably a drunk. So
I think he'd already been drinking.
Well, I certainly have, but I went to my doctor, refilled the Adderall prescription, and got on the road. And showed up a little early.
He said, yeah, all right, so so that means I'll be there around 3 or whatever. I was waiting, and then at 7 a.m. my phone rings. I'm 10 minutes away. Yeah. When you called me this morning, I went to bed at 4, and you called it early. Yeah. And I go, what, you're out front now? I can't fucking talk yet. You go, no, I'm 2 hours away. Okay, I can deal with 2 hours. Yeah. So Olivia and I went and got some breakfast and a margarita.
We did say, do you think he's leaving tonight? And it was unanimous.
I know. I made sure I had beers and stayed at a friend's house, because otherwise I would have been like, fuck it, let's get on the road. But I actually did not get on the road till 4, but I started from Brea, not North Hollywood. So I had a little
nice.
A little bit of a head start.
Okay.
Oh, tonight. Yeah. But that night, you got there at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, fucking my car said it was mountain time, so I'm like, oh, it's not too early. But I did give you an out. I texted you and I said, look, I'll go play around Bisbee. I know this is early. And you still...
No, I can't. I can't go to bed with that kind of fucking guilt in my head.
You're already up.
Yeah, yeah. You assimilated in Bisbee.
I had a great time.
You've helped Chuckleheads get underway.
Hey, you ironed out a landlord issue? Landlord issue?
Yeah. The guy, the long hair guy with the guns. He hands me a business card for real estate and guns, and I'm busting his balls about... He thought I was an attorney because I called him. And I was like, I'm representing Mr. Anonymous, but... and talk through. I want to do a walkthrough, and I just did the same shit I did when I would break leases in LA. And yeah. Anyway, but this guy scared the shit out of me, because like he was just some lazy guy that had grandkids and just didn't want to deal.
Everyone
with it.
in Bisbee is a lazy guy with grandkids
and scary.
And I was like, dude, just pay the fucking $700 that you're trying to fight for. This isn't worth it. Someone's gonna die.
That was solid advice.
So give us some of your background. And it's financial shit.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago. I joined the military, and then when I got out of the military,
what branch?
I was in the Navy for 4 years, from 99 to 03.
What'd you do?
I was a secretary. I was a fucking accountant.
Secretary of the Navy? That's a big.
He's like
position.
radar.
No, but so I knew that. I knew I was getting the fuck out.
Sign here. Sign here.
That's exactly what I did. So after like one day in, I was like, I'm getting out. And after doing that for a while, I was like, dude, I can't do 4 years of this shit and be like, the craziest thing I did was make someone an ID card. So I fucking joined, I signed up for this VBSS team where we would board ships when I was on deployment. So then I actually had like 3 months of like combat stories, which was really just not. I got to mace a guy from Greece. I was the little guy on the team, and he was busting balls. Fucking stand back, sir. But
what does VBSS stand for?
Visit, Board, Search, and Seizure. So we had sanctions on Iraq from the first Gulf War, where they couldn't export oil or import things without us fucking going and searching through it.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the Russians and Greeks were like, "Fuck you guys! Are you stopping us in the middle of the ocean?" So this guy was being a dick, but that's like fucking chemical warfare, right? So not only did I do that, but when we're climbing down
you really know how to fucking embellish your resume.
I didn't put that.
I was involved in chemical warfare. Yeah. It's war crime. I'm a war criminal.
Yeah. But when
hold on a second. Let's not discount the fact that you could die.
Beer.
You could be in some serious shit. like boarding a vessel.
Yeah, no, we had 2 kids die
Yes.
right after we had turned over. We did boardings for 3 months, and we just had it on autopilot. We knew how to fuck with, and we turned it over, and they weren't paying attention. What these guys would do once they were detained is they would try and scuttle the ship because they knew Americans aren't going to fucking let them die.
Yeah.
So two of our guys were in the engineering space, so 2 guys died.
As they basically
They
sunk
scuttled
the
they
guys
sunk their own
the
ship.
guys who owned the ship that you boarded.
They sunk it. Yeah.
and your 2 of your members were down below.
Yeah. So it
Fuck
was a day
me.
after doing this for 3 months, we turned it back over to those guys, and then it was just like, dude, I was like, fucking told you. Like, no, seriously, like, check all the spaces. Don't be fucking nice. These guys aren't your friends. Whatever. But it was, it was a fucking crazy experience. We took down one ship that was owned by Bin Laden, but it already had changed hands 20 times, but it had carried the explosives to blow up the Khobar Towers in like 95.
Mm-hmm.
So the SEALs went on and took them down first, and then they brought us on to do the inspection where everyone's all wrapped up. And here's my one good war story. As I walk in what they call the salon is like their where they eat. Like they call that the salon.
Like a galley.
Yeah. And
In the Navy, they call it a salon.
yeah, right.
They get their hair done while they're eating.
Probably, but only on submarines. But
Easy on the cuticles.
these fuckers have all these guys lying down on the ground, palms out, and they're playing Barney music and acting like, I love you, you love... And they're walking around, stepping on them, fucking looking for cell phones.
Fucking Lindy
Who's got
England.
the fucking cell phones? Who's got the cell phones? And it was, one kid pops up his hand, he's like, I have to piss. I have to use the bathroom. So they're like, go ahead, go. So he gets up, and they fucking, as he starts to walk towards the door, they hit him with an asp. Like a baton. They're like, you see it? Go.
Yeah.
And then I saw like a 15-year-old Indian kid piss himself, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Like, that's when I like completely tapped out of the whole bullshit. But
Wow, have you talked to AJ yet?
was he a SEAL or something? Or
No, he oversaw a lot of interrogations of
yeah, dude,
kids, and
that's the only thing I said. But
he's also on disability because of it.
Yeah, dude, it's 2 of the guys from my team are 100% service connected. I started to go down that road to do that, and then I realized for the VA, I'd have to literally become fucking insane to get the qualification, and I was like, I'm not willing to do
What's
it.
service connected mean?
That's when you get, for like PTSD, it's where you'll get a disability payment from the VA, and for me, it just wasn't worth it, because I'm fucking, that was nuts before I started. Like, I'm already, that didn't change too much, but they say a lot about PTSD is that if you don't establish coping mechanisms when you're a child, you can't handle that type of shit. So if you have a tough childhood, those are the people it manifests in more often.
Yeah.
And I had a decent childhood, so it wasn't, I don't know, I was fine. I was like, fuck that Greek guy.
I turned out great, and that's why fuck that Greek guy. My parents hugged me
Parents
enough.
hugged me. So Statopoulos is going down.
Yeah, that's the only 3 months of that shit, and then back to doing fucking paperwork.
Delayed entry? Did you sign up delayed entry?
Yeah. So I signed up when I was 17, and then you can't ship until you're 18, or you have to turn 18 in boot camp. Yeah. And I tell kids now, because I know the system, it's like, dude, that first fucking time you raise your hands, that's all bullshit. You can that doesn't mean anything. It's until you show up and you do 180 days. Otherwise, it's an entry-level SEP who never existed. So if you hate the military, folks...
In the first 180 days.
But if you're close, they'll fucking hold you to 181
yeah.
so you can get a general or whatever. But, like, the whole dishonorable shit, no one gets a dishonorable unless you murder, like, your family.
I don't want to go down this fucking road, and we're not. I'm going back to you.
Sure.
But this is one of the things I thought of when that whatever chick came out about Moby, and Moby has a new biography where he said, is it Natalie Portman? He's some famous chick that he dated when she was 19, but she said, I never dated him. He was this old creepy guy that was coming on to me, and I was only 19. Like, I wasn't even...
Yeah.
I mean, I've had these conversations with Bertine, and she's like, well, when, like, someone who's that age, like, late 20s, they're not fully... You have to... but at the same time, you can fucking die for your country. Signed up at 17 before you can buy cigarettes. You can sign up for the military. You just can't go till you. But we get your signature, fuckface. This is what happened to my brother. He did delayed entry as a geek to be a Marine. So he wasn't a geek anymore. And in that year, he was in a band. He started getting pussy. He's like, fuck, I signed that paper. But he didn't want to look like a coward by saying, well, no, that signature legally doesn't count.
Correct.
So you can back up, but they have you by the fucking ego balls.
There you go. And it's all the same system. Like by putting the hand up and taking an oath, it's the first step in a fucking manipulative fucking process throughout. And as you go to get out after 4 years, they tell you you're not going to fucking make anything in your... I said, I'd rather be in the park fucking begging for change than do another goddamn day of this routine. Like,
that was when I was running for president. That was one of my things. Okay, if you support the troops, give them a beer. Like, you should be able to drink. I mean, it's an old like cliche. Well, if they can die for their country, why do they have to be 21 to have a legal cocktail? Well, that was going to be one of my platforms. I get the military on my side right away.
You would. Like, but it was fucking crazy because I wouldn't be able to drink in San Diego, and then we'd pull into fucking...
Is that where you trained?
Cabo.
Nah.
Great Lakes. But then San Diego was where my duty station was.
Yeah.
So Tijuana's right there. So go get fucking hammered in Tijuana from 18 to 21. $5 all you can drink. Club A, Mr. E's, Safari. We had an apartment down there. $200, 4 of us. Nothing in there other than a couple of air mattresses. But Tijuana was fun. It's not fun anymore.
Those were the days. Build a wall to keep us out. All right, well, yeah, that's...
that brings you to
that
03.
brings you to...
Sorry, I'm a little long-winded.
No, that's what you're here for.
But then I tried the college thing, and I realized I was smarter than everyone because, like, it was just a fucking joke. It was like high school classes, and it was a formality, so I figured out how to get the money from it. But then I was working full-time, doing it at night, multiple community colleges, getting shit rolling in. And
Wait, you're out of the military now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, in one semester you were enrolled in the same class in different community colleges?
And that was in L.A.
Yeah.
So this was San Diego still. So that one I didn't quite push the system, but I was learning the system.
You did 4 years in the military.
Correct.
Then you get out, and now you're milking the GI Bill.
Now I'm milking the GI Bill, but this is where I realized that it was all a formality, and I'm like, I'm going to find that third door, and I fucking wanted to be a sports agent. So I flew down to San Antonio to see the Senior Bowl, like, because Tom Brady came from that, Drew Brees, all these, and I'm like, I'm going to go rub shoulders with fucking sports agents, figure out a way to hack the system, get someone to like me, hire me, whatever. I ended up meeting a financial advisor, and I knew fucking nothing about finance. I hated math, like fucking, and he ends up referring me to the Beverly Hills Merrill Lynch office. I go in for an interview, and my resume shows like types 43 words a minute, fucking board shifts. I didn't even know what I was doing. And the director, like this managing director of all of LA, is looking at it. He starts turning red. He's like, how the fuck did you get in here? And he goes, what do you know about being a financial advisor? I said, La Tabla Rasa, the empty slate. I'm like, you fill it in. You can train me. So I still kind of had a swagger about me. So I'm there for 8 fucking hours. He's got me sitting at people's desks, and I'm like, dude, I fucking got this job. I got this. So I'm dating a chick. I'm like, let's go to Vegas. We go and get married because I assumed I got the job at Merrill. Like, how old am I? 24 or whatever. And fucking nothing 1 week, nothing second week, nothing third week. I'm like, fuck, maybe I didn't get it. So I sent like a follow-up email like 6 weeks later.
So you got into finance the same way you got into interning for Doug.
This felt the exact same way. So a year later, I fucking had a really crafty email that I sent to the managing director, and I told him, I was like, I pretended I was working for Ameriprise, but I wasn't. I was like
another financial institution.
Yeah. And I go, look, I said, I didn't understand what I had in front of me before. Right now I'm playing for the Marlins, but I want to play for the Yankees. So that he fucking replies back to that. I go in, set an appointment, go in for another interview, but I'd gotten a little fat from the fucking marriage and shit, and I go in there, dude,
as one does,
and everything's pressed, this and that, but I didn't have a jacket on.
To quote some 80s comic, the race is over, take off the uniform, something to that effect. The getting fat in a relationship.
I show up to the interview with, a nice shirt, but no jacket, and I walk into his office, and he goes, "Where's your jacket?" I'm like, I got fat since the last time you saw me. I don't have one. He goes, go to fucking Marshall's. He's like, buy a suit, make another appointment with Annette. Like, he liked me because I had balls to make the So I go back.
But you weren't really working for another company, were you?
No,
Prize?
no.
Yeah.
No, like a white lie.
Okay.
I won't,
White lie.
It's like white collar crime. It's fucking crime.
No, I sold them an advertising thing. I was selling websites door to door, knocking on door, fucking trying to talk to you about web advertising and fucking SEO optimization. Dude, I can do anything like at about an 80% level. You never get to the 100%. I'm not good at anything. But I can do.
Gump couldn't cover the other 20.
20 Gumps couldn't cover the other 20. So the guy likes you. You go out and get a jacket.
I go out, get the jacket, go back, walk in. He's like, "You're not going to be a financial advisor for 3 to 5 years." It's like, "But I got a job for you." I'm like, "I'll sweep floors. I'll do whatever." You know that.
Yeah, we read the email.
Starting bottom.
So I end up within 6 months of being there. I'm fucking someone from another team brings me on. I become an advisor. I break off from them. I start doing my own thing. But now I'm a kid that comes from like blue collar. I got no fucking. I'm trying to figure out how to gather assets. I look much younger, so I would just hang out at like hotel bars and just try and strike up conversation. I closed fucking deals at the airport bars, just being bubbly and like
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah. Leeds.
But I didn't know
Al
what the fuck
Pacino and Jonathan Pryce at the bar at Glengarry Glen Ross. Have you seen that movie? Do you know what story structure is? All right.
But yeah, all I did was like asset allocation. I would just broker the deal out, and I felt like a fucking asshole. Like why am I charging these people? I'm not even doing anything. I don't even know anything about investing.
But you're selling them financial products.
Yeah, but
through
like
the company that you do work for.
I'm just brokering them. That's all the financial services
That's most
industry
of them.
is asset allocation at a fucking 30% premium. Get a robot. It's 15 basis points. Done. But I didn't feel good about the job, so I still had it for 8 years.
Is it because you lied your way in?
Or lied your way during.
Well, that never was. It was. I was charging the clients that did trust me, and just too much of a fee, and I was bringing it down to the minimum. And I just fucking never felt good about that gig, but I had gotten all this money on autopilot. So now I'm a degenerate gambler making fucking $150K a year, but like a $40K a year guy. And just the money comes in every month, like fucking all.
Still married the whole time?
No, I divorced her in like 2009. She was slowing down my career.
Your quote unquote career. So how many years were you married?
I don't know. Probably 3 or 4, but like we only lived together for 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were married when you went in the service.
No. I did
that's-
marry a Brazilian in the service. I think the
Oh,
statute
Jesus.
of limitations is up on that. It's fucking bullshit. Some Gump guy comes in with a wife and he gets double the pay. No. So I found a hack in that system.
My brother did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could live off base in San Diego, Oceanside.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
I got lucky though because it was still 2 years for a green card, and then 9/11 happened, and they changed everything. But I had one fucking interview, and the guy that interviewed us at INS used to be on my ship. He didn't even ask me like her parents' name or anything. He was just talking about the old ship
Good
that I
old
was
days.
on.
Remember that Greek guy you blinded?
Right?
That was fun. So wait, you get more money if you got a wife in the military?
Yeah.
So he's,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can live off base.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like tired of living on the ship. Like it was fucking awful. So I went and got a dope apartment, and then I was like, we need to consummate this marriage. We're gonna have an interview at some point. I came home hammered, and that's how I closed for the first time. We ended up dating
After you got married?
Yeah.
Turns out she's an all right gal.
Oh no, she was awful. She punched me. She's Brazilian. But I thought my parents.
That's a Muay Thai. That's a Muay Thai punch.
I thought my parents knew, and I was fucking drunk a couple years back, and I go, "Ma, you don't know. That was my second marriage," and they're like devout Catholics, and I'm like, "No, Camila and I were married." She's like, "What?" It hurt somehow. I don't know.
That's
I don't
not
get
cool.
it. But so that's finance. The story of how finance ended for me,
You were at the same company for 8 years?
No, I ended up taking a check to go move to fucking, but I can't talk about that.
Yeah, you shouldn't even be mentioning these
I
fucking
don't give a shit
company
about
names.
No, but there's. I'll tell you guys offline. It's fucking hilarious. Then I was out of work for 3 years, and then I got into software sales, working for startups, until that fucking ran its course.
We were talking about a lot of shit that we could not talk about on the podcast before the podcast, which is the general save it for the podcast we always say. Tell me something that we can't talk about on the podcast. And we were so entrenched in that when we started podcasting, that's all my head was about. But Charles has plenty of stories. I don't think we're out of them yet.
I think he's got a couple more wives in there.
I might. I don't know. I'm not sure. I put it on the last one to make the divorce official. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't give a shit. Marriage is a formality. It's a fucking contract. Dude, I'll do it again. Whatever. I don't have any money. Like, if I have assets, I'll think about it. But, when you don't have anything, who gives a shit?
Yeah, when you put that in your whatever you call that, you sent me, your job.
The resume?
Yeah. Hey, I'll do this for nothing. I'll pay my own way. I'll spend money out of my own pocket to work for you. Yeah, he's probably not going to have assets soon.
Well, no, here's the I put complete faith into the universe. And I was running out of money back in March, and I won an office pool. Now, it was play money, but there were 9,800 play dollars that kicked the can down the road because not only did Virginia win, but I needed that fucking shot. I needed the over. And it was just, I was just like, dude, God wants me to just ramble on.
Intern.
So.
A little less atheist.
Yeah.
Yes, this is where we start to believe.
Yeah.
You're so positive. I love it.
Well, there's only, dude, when you've been kicking the can down the road for this long and it just keeps working out, like you keep falling forward.
Yeah, you keep kicking the can. Don't change anything, right? Keep that
No.
PMA.
Just keep going. Yeah, we're just going until it's time to go back to work.
Fearless take on life. You were telling me earlier something that horrified me. Do you remember that?
Oh, the frog?
Yeah.
What?
Well, you were saying you.
Chaille hasn't heard this.
Yeah, you were talking about.
Chuck was telling you about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck was telling me about frog poison, right? And I thought that was the Thai equivalent of rat poison.
We have we set up the fact that he's gonna. Should we not?
No,
your lady.
Fine. What? No.
You have a gal pal?
Oh, she got fired the first day. She was. She was replaced when she showed up to the airport.
Wait, by you?
Oh,
or
okay.
Her job?
So when you did come here, you were here for a week where I disappeared and left you with Gump, trying to figure out what the fuck you're supposed to do.
We straightened it out.
Well, you also realized, I have to leave for my grandmother's 100th birthday in Chicago, and then I also have a ticket I bought to fly back to Thailand because I have a girlfriend in Thailand, and you said I'll just change the dates on that, but it turns out it was going to be more money to change
giving
it.
him shit, going like, "What kind of fucking intern are you? You show up for a week, your boss leaves in 2 days, and you're stuck here, and now you're just leaving." And then I realized, wait, he can lose some serious money here, and I go, "Don't go on the trip. Don't." Of course, the grandmother turned 100, but I was like, I tried to give him shit at first, but then I realized it's going to cost more to change the ticket because he got a really good deal. He does a Hennigan thing where he finds these, ferrets out a really good deal and a hotel and everything, and it was going to cost him more to change the ticket than the whole thing would have been. So
you went back to see your Thai girlfriend who didn't really speak much English and was upset.
Yeah.
That you were going to be living in Bisbee, Arizona on a moment's notice. So you went back, and then she shows up at the airport.
With fucking 10 of her coworkers. I've been flying for 18 hours, and then they take me immediately to their bar, and they're like, no, everyone wants to see you. No, everyone wants me to buy them a fucking drink. So right away, I'm getting shook down, and I was like, look, that was strike one. And then the other thing, when I left, I said, look, if you fuck anyone else, I don't care, just be honest. And so then I caught her in a lie that they do that shit for money over there. But...
Yeah, but the idea that you would fall for this anyway,
I know,
and then say, "Be honest with me." What?
Nah, I don't. They're little con artists. They're the best. Like they'll figure out the long game, the slow game, like whatever they have to do.
Wow, it sounds like you guys are perfect for each other.
I thought I found a hack in the system by dating like a 5 or a 6 in Thailand that's my age, as opposed to going for the 22-year-old, whatever. And now same thing, just trying to. I'm like, dude, I don't have a job, but no, my water buffalo died, or they're showing me a fucking
that old excuse.
Flooding from like 8 years ago. Like my village is flooded, or it's just a constant. There's always something. And the new one I'm talking to, like right away, she had to go in for some doctor's appointment.
Wait, is she one of the 10?
Oh no, we switched
that
bars.
That would be great if you just went. All right.
Yeah, we switched bars.
I'm with your friend now.
Yeah,
is her water buffalo healthy?
Thus far, She hasn't asked for anything yet, but she's building up a case of how she had to go get blood work. It's coming. It'll come while I'm here.
Our whole relationship is just a Sarah McLachlan commercial.
Yeah, dude, go date someone in Thailand. Like, that's what it is.
Or date them all, one at a time.
But I did learn the interesting fact about Thailand is that I went to a village there, and unlike India sends the ugliest person from the village to come here and make money. And like you have a supermodel fucking grinding rice, and Thailand sends all the pretty people out of the village. It's like the opposite. It was. I'm too lazy to be a comic. Like I thought it was funny. It could be nostalgia or something, but
you're killing us.
Dude, it's fucking. Yeah, I went to India before when I was in the Navy, and it was like the people that get here are the fucking ugly ones that send money back because they don't want to marry like the women in India are the most beautiful women in the world. They just don't get to come here because they're scared they won't send money back to the village and like marry Nick Cage or.
I want half, Eddie. All right, maybe that's a deep track. Eddie Murphy. Yeah. I want half. All right, never mind.
What were we up before this?
It doesn't matter. We're wrapping this podcast up. There's plenty more Chuck to come.
Yeah.
Chuck.
We'll talk about the Cambo frog poison. We'll get into that next time.
Oh, that's what story that.
We'll close on that. Go ahead. Tell us about the Cambodian frog poison.
It's not Cambodian. So the giant monkey tree frog is it's a frog indigenous to the Peruvian-Brazilian border, and the locals there they'll go tie him up and steal his secretion, like the poison that comes from him, and then you inject it into a burn. But anyway, it makes you throw up. It's a complete lymphatic system cleanse, and you feel like a fucking $1 million for like 6 weeks, and then you just do it again after like a good 30-day party.
I went out to smoke,
that sounds horrific.
Yeah. Wait. Listen, I go out to smoke, and like I am if I wake up sober, which Olivia did. Like I'm still drunk from last night, so I'm running through. Olivia sober, and I left her alone with Chuck, knowing he's going to be fucking
8 hours off the road.
Yeah, white tongued on Adderall, like the exact same frog he stole the poison from. And I come in and I go, oh fuck, I left her. She's just trying to eat her breakfast, and she can barely eat anyway. She's one of every woman I know that seems to have a fucking eating disorder of some kind.
Eating in the morning, I have to like force myself to eat.
Yeah, no, I sat through breakfast with you once.
Yeah.
And he's going on, and I walk in and he's showing her video of the horrific vomits that someone goes through on someone he treated with this frog poison lymphatic cleanse of just a guy.
Just two dudes sitting across from each other on a balcony with red buckets, and they're laughing.
Like she's just trying to eat something. Yeah. He goes, she told me it's okay. I go, yeah, but you should probably know.
I did say it was okay, but what I thought, because you were like, you like pulled up something on your phone and you're like, oh, never mind, it's kind of gross. And I was like, no, I got a stomach for it, but I thought you were trying to show me the burns. And then I just hear gagging and vomiting as he turns his phone around, and I was like, well, I did say it was okay. I just didn't know exactly what it was, but it's still interesting to hear about, because I was just like, I lashed out at you and said it was the stupid idea because I am so afraid of touching anything that could poison me through my skin. And so you were describing my worst nightmare as though it would cure any ailment I may or may not have.
Anything.
Do you think it would?
Cures everything.
You asked him if you thought it would cure IBS.
Oh, yeah.
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Chuck is not a doctor. That's just his opinion.
It's my witch doctor. Comes from there.
But on an upcoming episode, he'll tell us about the time he sent in a bogus resume and did surgery for 4 years.
They found out and they didn't fire me.
Yeah.
Chuck, it's going to be an interesting ride from here. Do you have do you have other obligations that we should know about that you have to leave right away?
None that I'm aware of. However, I did get cast and promised that it would be on a game show.
Oh, we have to talk. We'll save this because
I went and did an audition the other day.
Remember the Bretchels?
Yeah,
same game show.
Oh,
I want to know if it's the same booker. Oh yeah, you'll definitely get on because I wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and then they show up for the game show, and like extras, and
Hammered.
they don't get on. There is no deal to make.
They were good. They're good background.
Yeah,
They were
they
just
found out.
tomatoes, but they were wasted when they got there. They didn't pull that off.
I know, but he had the same. Oh yeah, no, they're gonna call you up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Nope.
promise the same things. But my costume is on point, so
Okay.
Okay.
Good tease.
Did you bring it with you?
no, it's just I'm Colin McGregor, and then I pull up my shirt and I have McGregor written in Sharpie, like my cousin's Connor, and like it killed on Halloween. It'll work there.
All right, that's a podcast. So thank you for being here, and we'll HomeStretch. Thank you at HomeStretch FDN or FND. I can never remember.
Or you can go to homestretchfoundation.org.
And please
all the
donate.
Social.
Yeah. Fucking
And,
donate to us. Fuck that. You know what? I'm tired of fucking doing. Derek's got a weird eye and cataracts and fucking women cyclists. Donate to the podcast first and then see what's left in your pockets and pay that forward. Just
Be a subscriber. Be a participant in this podcast continuing on. Go to patreon.com/Stanhope Podcast and enter at any level. We appreciate it.
yeah, a fucking sign up for $1. I don't give a fuck. Thank you. All right.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's perfect. It's exactly what you needed to do.